Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. At the moment I am subscribing to Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. My lovely postman has just recently delivered my latest batch because although it's a weekly magazine, I get them in bundles of 4 once a month because that's the way they do it for subscribers. And this is issue 8. We've had a couple of issues that have been quite poor value, but issue 8 is turning the tide because it comes with well, it's not free, but it's a cover miniature of the Space Marine Primaris Librarian. Now, until recently, the Primaris Librarian miniature has been available as a single hero miniature from Games Workshop for £22.50. So, that $7.99 cover price makes this excellent value. And now I say until recently because Games Workshop have ever so slightly taken the wind out of the sales of this magazine by releasing... This is actually a character that you can use in Kill Team. Kill Team, when it first came out, didn't have rules for big badass heroes, it didn't have rules for commanders, but just recently Games Workshop has released an expansion for commanders, and they've also released several miniatures which come with tokens and cards and things for using them in Kill Team. This librarian is one of them. He has been repackaged as Torvald Orcsbane and bundled up with a load of cards and tokens and has a retail price of £20. So, to begin with, I was thinking, we were paying $7.99 for a miniature that costs £22.50. But, in fairness, you can now get this miniature plus a bunch of other stuff, tokens, cards, things like that, in a nice cool box for £20. So that value has been undermined slightly. And if you want the tokens and cards for Kill Team, if you're intending to use this miniature for Kill Team, then that £20 box might still be the better way to go. Obviously, it's considerably more expensive than $7.99, so it's still a difference of £12 and a penny. That's not small change, really. But obviously, if you want those tokens and counters, that might be the way to go. If not, paying $7.99 for this magazine is absolutely the best way to get hold of this miniature at a really good price. Now, people new to Games Workshop may boggle their minds slightly to think that a single miniature at $7.99 is considered excellent value. But like I say, normally heroes like this you're looking at £20 or more, so that is a good deal. And this miniature is cool. It comes on 2 frames. He's got a cool flowing cloak. He's got a big old power sword, and yeah, it is interesting that we're now on the second Primaris hero character. At the moment, we have not had a Death Guard hero in the magazine, so there's definitely going to be a Death Guard hero coming soon. Hint, hint. I've looked ahead. There's a Death Guard hero coming soon. But yeah, that's cool. That's really good value. That is. I'm going to work this out, and what I do every issue is at the end of the video I put up a running tally which covers what it's cost to purchase every issue of the magazine to date versus what it would cost to buy all the things that come with the magazine at retail price, which is Games Workshop's recommended retail price, not taking into account online discounts and things like that. So I will do that again at the end of the video, and when I do that, I'm going to work this guy out based on that £20 price, because it wouldn't make sense to me if I wanted to buy this miniature and I went to Games Workshop to buy it. It wouldn't make sense to me to buy the single figure on its own for £22.50 when on the shelf next to it is exactly the same miniature with a bunch of other stuff for £20, because obviously it's cheaper, and then if I didn't want those tokens and cards I could probably flog them on eBay for a couple of quid, making it even cheaper still. So I'm going to work this out based on a £20 retail price. I think that's fair. Let's have a look at the little magazine. So yeah, this is our second hero. We previously had a lieutenant. Learn about the Librarius. Paint a Space Marine Librarian. Psychers join the battle. Obviously. So yeah, that's what he looks like all assembled and painted to Games Workshop standard. It's a very cool miniature. Really cool cloaks and things on it, and some nice gubbins. That's a point I should point out. This is a proper Games Workshop miniature. This isn't an easy build miniature. This is one of their proper, delicate, multi-part miniatures. You can see some of the components are very thin, very small, and you've got to make sure you're clipping them in just the right places. And there's purity seals that need to be affixed to the miniature at certain points. This is not an easy build. When you're putting this guy together, there's going to be instructions in the magazine. Follow the instructions carefully and really take care. He is going to need glue as well, and you want to use plastic glue, and you want to apply plastic glue sparingly because plastic glue melts plastic. This, I'm sure, they will cover in the magazine. There he is. Right, so got some cool pictures of librarians, stuff about psychic hoods and their weapons and things like that. So, weapons, 4 swords, 4 staves, the defense of the Valius. This is a battle. This is so more fluff and history, which is always good. And then here we have how to build the Primaris Librarian. What? Where's my advice on how to hold the clippers? How am I going to know how to hold the clippers? We're 8 issues in. I might have forgotten. Yeah, normally there would be a thing down the side saying how to hold the clippers and stuff about glue, but there is not here. So yeah, they've got the photo of the frame, instructions on how to identify the numbers. Oh, there it is. Oh, I missed you, clippers and glue safety. Yeah, okay, so instructions on removing stuff from sprues. Double check this, because like I say, you are dealing with much smaller pieces than you would be on the easy build miniatures, and this guy's going to be more complicated to put together than the Primaris Lieutenant they gave away previously, I would say. There's more components, more small components. You see you've got these the tubes and things. You need to make sure you're cutting those in the right place. There is a head option. On the Lieutenant, they didn't actually point out that there was an optional head. But yes, this guy has a choice of 2 heads. I will be going for the helmeted head because you're going into battle. Put your helmet on. But yeah, there you go. Nice clear instructions. The orange bit tells you where to put your plastic glue. The blue bit tells you sort of the last component that you affixed. So as you work through, and it's important that you do things in the number orders. So get it right, because obviously you'd want to put 5 onto 6 there before you put that onto there. Cool. And look, here's some more instructions. You can see that this is obviously much more difficult to put together because the instructions we've now run to, we're on 4 pages of instructions to get the guy finished. But he does look incredible when he's done, and he really does look better with his helmet on. I always think Space Marines always look better with their helmets on. I will always go for helmets if I have a choice. Okay, and then there's how to paint the Primaris Librarian. They've got all of the paints that you need from previous issues, and there's your Agrax Earthshade and your Null Oil, which came last week. Nice big images. You know the score by now. If you've seen any of these previous magazines, the format is always the same. Nice big images showing you exactly where to apply the paints, and then we get a tutorial which introduces the concept of psychic powers, psychic might. And there's going to be a learning tutorial where the librarian is going to mess up a unit of 5 Plague Marines. Because that's what they do. So again, it's introducing the psychic phase in between the move phase and the shoot phase. It's all pretty straightforward. Stat lines for the librarian. I'm not gonna mention the absence of data cards. I'm not gonna oh, I just did. Darn. So close and yet so far. So yeah, more stuff about the psychic phase. Tells you how to go through casting your psychic powers. Unleash the psychic power. And then we have a mission. Clear the deck. 6 Poxwalkers and 2 units of 3 Plague Marines against a Primaris Librarian and 3 Reavers. And extra rules. So a recap of all the weapons and stuff. Psychic abilities, the Blight Launcher, and all that sort of stuff. And there we go, that's the end of the magazine. Obviously, this is a pretty exciting magazine. 2 reasons, really. One is it's... well, several reasons, I guess. One is that it's introducing a pretty expensive hero character at a really good price. 2, it's the second time that they've given you a more complicated miniature, and this is actually the most complicated miniature so far. So this is where you get a real taste of what, you know, the easy build miniatures are to get you started in the hobby. At some point you are expected to move on to the more complicated stuff, and this is kind of your first real taste of a much more complicated miniature and what you can expect from hero level miniatures in particular. So that's quite interesting. And obviously it also introduces the concept of psychic powers, which up until now that hasn't been a part of your games. So it's the final element of the core rules finally revealed. So that's pretty good. And then we've got thing. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I have already teased that issue 9 is another unit of Poxwalkers, and this is the same easy build Poxwalkers that they gave away in an earlier issue. It's the same 6 easy build Poxwalkers that you get if you buy the First Strike starter set from Games Workshop, and it's just not very exciting. I mean, you're at issue 9, and it just feels, you know, you've just had a really complicated hero character to build, who's going to take a lot more skill, and you're going to have to be a lot more careful putting together. And then you go back to the easy build Poxwalkers. It just feels like a step back. It feels a bit boring because you've already seen them. Obviously, when you're building an army for Warhammer 40,000, there is going to be duplication. You can't have every single thing unique. Once you get to a certain size, you have to duplicate stuff just to have enough bodies on the table. There are not unlimited sculpts of Poxwalkers, but there are other Poxwalker models available, and by the looks of it, we'll be getting some of those later on. But it might have been better just to have some of those introduced here at this stage, rather than going backwards and going back to easy build stuff again. But that's a bit disappointing. However, the issue after it certainly makes up for it, because eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed it just creeping into shot there. Issue 10, they are giving away the Blight Hauler, and it's the complete kit. It's the complete Blight Hauler kit. It's the easy build Blight Hauler, which retails for £15. Bargain, super value there. It's just a shame we've got to get through these guys first. So in the next video, I'll be moderately disappointed in these guys. As always, like I say, I will put up the pricing thing here. You can see the running totals of how we're doing in terms of savings. If you have any comments or opinions, please let me know. Let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you're still interested in seeing these detailed breakdowns of each magazine, because once I've got through the next 2 that I've received, if people would rather I just very, very quickly just show you what you get, and rather than being as detailed as I'm being, let me know. But if you're interested in this kind of breakdown, you know, let me know that as well. It helps me build my channel if I know what people are enjoying and what people would rather not see. Until next time, everybody, bye bye.